Hello and welcome. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Deimos Battlecruiser. So the Deimos Battlecruiser is the next ship in my Battlecruiser series. And as a Battlecruiser, it is a Class C combat ship. So anything that you want for this ship, you can pick it up right over here from the Deimos Star Yards orbiting Mars. And you will need to have the ship flip glitch enabled to build this ship exactly as is. So let's go ahead, pop on over to the Star Yards, see how it's all put together, and take a tour, and then we will test it out over in Serpentis. So now that we're docked, let's go ahead and get up. And you can see immediately that we are starting inside the Ares Bridge, one of my favorite bridges in the game. So just taking a quick look around. Let's come back here and go through this door, and we enter into a one-by-one companionway. Now, we will deal with the ladder down in just a moment, but first let's go through this side. We find another one-by-one companionway, and then we enter into the Deimos living quarters 2x2. In here, we can then go up this ladder, and we find ourselves in a 2x1 all-in-one. And then we will come on over here, pop down this ladder, and we have a companionway with a 2x1 all-in-one back and front. So that's 12 beds on these ships so far. Wandering on over to the other side, we have another companionway. And then we have the 2x2 battle station tab. Right over here, we have another companionway. And once again, we have a 2x1 all-in-one on each side of the companionway. Then we can come on up here, and we find ourselves in the 2x1 captain's quarters. So we are up to 21 beds on the ship so far. Coming down a level, maybe. There we go. We have another 1x1 companionway. Behind us, we have the 2x1 armory, as well as our landing bay access. Moving forwards, we have the 2x3 mess hall. And then moving forwards of that, we have the 3x1 all-in-one. And on each side at the end, we have another 2x1 all-in-one. So this is putting us at a total of 33 beds on this ship. More than enough for your crew, as well as potential landing parties and or boarding parties. Coming down one more level, we have our docking hatch, and we are in the Deimos 3x3 cargo hold. Back over here, we have a workshop, though you could certainly make that any other 2x1 hab that you wanted. And then on the other side, we have the infirmary. So that's the tour of the ship. Let's go ahead, hop on out, and take a look at how this ship is built.
I wish Deimos was exclusively a military contract.
You deserve the best. Let's get you set up.
Alrighty. So go ahead, If you want to pause, take a look at what the stats are with my skills. You can do a quick spin around the ship. And then we will hop on into the builder. So for this ship, we have gray, gold, and red. And for each of these, we are just going ahead and using the same color for colors 2 and 3, as well as for color 1. So now that we've got that all in, let's go ahead, delete the ship, and then I'll show you how it's built. All right, so we are of course going to go ahead and start with our landing bay. We have a rear entry lander here, and then we are going to go ahead and start adding our habs. So first things first, we have our armory, and then we have a companionway. On the underside, we have our cargo hull. Continuing forward, we have our mess hall, an all-in-one, a 2x1 all-in-one. Copy that on over here. Another 3 companionways, the battle stations. Just copy that on over to this side for the living quarters. Right up here we have our captain's quarters. Another companionway. And a pair of all-in-ones. One of the things I do want to note about this ship is we are at 127 parts, and the game caps you at 130, unless you are using mods. One of the areas that you could consider reducing your parts count if you want more greebling is we could look at removing this companionway on each side and replacing this 2x1 with a 3x1 all-in-one or living quarters or whatever you would like. Alrighty, so that is all the habs. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our cockpit and then our docker. Alright, so that is all the habitable space on this ship. Now, one of the things that I am going to point out here is that right behind this companionway and above the armory, I have experimented with putting another 2x1 hab or even a 3x1 hab going along here. The experiments ended up failing because it did stuff like you have to go up a ladder out of the armory to get into the companionway to then go down for the rest of the ship. This would be a problem easily solved with the Play Stores Yourself mod, but without that mod, this was the best way that I found to keep a reasonable layout. So, what are we going to do from here? First things first, underneath these side companionways, I'm going to go ahead and place my cargo. I am using 2 Galleon S204 cargo holds there. Oh, I'm sorry, I completely forgot something. Let's go ahead and grab our workshop and our infirmary. There we go. Problem solved. Alright, next, behind this, I'm going to go ahead and place a pair of Deimos hulls. No, not copy. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my engines. So I am using the Supernova 2200 engines. And these stick up just a little bit above and below. So looking at it basically dead on here, you can see that it comes just slightly and clips slightly visually there. It's more than just the visuals. So if I go ahead and I try and pull this down, It won't do that because it is clipping slightly into the hab beneath it. Therefore, we are going to perform the duplication glitch here. I select these, copy them, drop them down, hit cancel, and there we have it. And then I can go ahead and pull these off to the sides, and there we go. So that's our engines added. Now let's go ahead and grab our reactor. So the only 40 power reactor that you can get here at Deimos is the SF40, so that's the one that we're going to use. And there is this little gap here behind the companionways and in front of the engines, and your reactor goes in one spot and your fuel goes in the other. It doesn't really matter which one you choose, but we are using the 900T HE3 tank. Next up for my grav drive. Now, as mentioned, I have been doing some experimenting with putting a 2x1 here, and then in the end decided to go ahead and put some Deimos hulls instead. If you wanted to, with it like this, you could duplicate and hide a grav drive under one of these hulls. However, I stuck the grav drive right in front of the cargo hold and below the connection point for the 3x1. Let's see, and I am using, where is it? The RD3000 beta grav drive. And then, as mentioned, I am hiding that underneath a Deimos hull. Continuing on with the Deimos hulls, I'm going to go ahead and place a pair of them right there. And now let's go ahead and start filling out the bottom of this ship. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and grab my landing gear. I have 5 320 CB landing gear on this ship. So there's 1 directly in front of the grav drive, and then 2 under each of these wings. Next, let's go ahead and add some Deimos bellies. So I'm placing 1 belly and flip glitching it in over this landing gear. And then placing another pair on each side of the grav drive. And I'm going to place a single Deimos Skeg A in front. And then on each of these little wing portions, I'm going to go ahead and place a Deimos Skeg A on the back, a Deimos Skeg A on the front, and a Deimos Skeg B in the middle. Copy that on over to the other side. Alright, take that back. I need to pull this back, Skeg A back a little bit. And I'm placing another Skeg B on each side. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be placing a Deimos tail on the back, which the Skeg A attaches to. There we go. Next, I'm also going to go ahead and place another Deimos tail on the back of this. And then on the underside of that, I will place another Skeg A aft. Alright. Then, continuing on with the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and grab another Deimos belly and stick that on the bottom connection point for each of these Supernova engines. Alright, so that is the bottom of the ship done. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the sides. So on each of these pieces, I'm going to go ahead and put a Deimos braking engine. Then, on the front of the living quarters and the battle stations, where it overlaps the 2x1, I'm going to go ahead and place a Deimos cowling. And then I'm also going to place a flipped Deimos cowling. Alrighty. Then I'm also going to go ahead and place a Deimos cowling attached to the top 2x1s. Yep. And then I'm going to flip one into place over these supernovas. Alright, next up, across these side pieces, I'm going to be going ahead and placing Deimos bumpers. So I need to flip glitch one in over this Deimos belly, and then place another next to it. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and fill in this other side here. So two Deimos bumpers slightly overlap, which means that you need to flip glitch it into place if you want them to go down the sides like this. And then you can see that leaves a small gap there. We are going to take one more Deimos belly and flip it into place like that. Then repeat on the other side of the ship. Oh, come on. There we go. That is our Deimos bumpers. Then we want to go ahead and place them on the outside of the ship as well. There we go. Alright, so now that all of our Deimos bellies have been placed, or bumpers, bleh, the next step, I'm going to go ahead and start doing all the top greebling. So, what do I have? Got a Deimos spine A in front of each of these. On the underside of each of these Deimos cowlings, I do have another skeg A. I'm going to copy a Deimos spine A, flip it into place, slightly clipping into the bridge. Again, slightly clipping into the bridge. And there we go. And then grab another skeg A. And then we're going to place, not skeg A, spine A. And then we're going to place a spine B in between. Place another spine B here. And then a spine A. Place some more spine A's on top of the raised 2x1s. And that is all the spines. Now we also have a pair of Deimos, or not Deimos, Horizon weapon mounts located on each of the outsides of the ship. Next, right behind the bridge on top of this, we're going to go ahead and place our shield, which since we are Class C, we're going to get the SG-1800 shield generator. This is the best one in the game. Alright, and that should be everything except for the weapons. So let's go ahead and talk those weapons. So for this ship, I am using all Class C weapons, though you can definitely go ahead and do some mix of A, B, and C. I have 4 Disruptor 3340 Auto Alpha turrets. I have 4 PBO 300 Auto Alpha turrets, and 4 PBO 300 Auto Alpha beams. So we're going to go ahead and place the Auto Alpha beams on the outside of the ship. Then we are going to go ahead and place, come on, our 4 Auto Alpha turrets in similar locations. And then we can go ahead and place the 4 PBO 300s basically wherever we would like, if I can properly highlight it. And there we go. And that is the Deimos Battlecruiser. So all we got to do now is assign our weapons and paint the ship. So go ahead and just paint everything black. And then we are going to go ahead and select the center line here. And this we are going to go ahead and paint our golden colors. And then each of these lines here. Uh, and these we are going to go ahead and paint our red. There we go. Time to assign our weapons. If I can hit the correct buttons. There we go. And that is the Deimos Battlecruiser. So, enough building. Let's go see how it runs.
When you get serious about your spacecraft, come back to Deimos. Welcome to Deimos.
Alright, and we're going to reduce power to our engines. Hop on up to Serpentis. Wonder why the game decided to shut off the music. Apparently I just needed to leave the system. Alrighty. There we go. So we took a couple hits, and those missiles from the higher tier opponents definitely hit very hard. So we're going to go ahead and give our engines at least a chance to fully repair. Alrighty. Patience is clearly not my virtue, because despite me saying I'm going to give my engines a chance to repair, let's go hit this hostile activity instead. Clearly not a move that I will in any way, shape, or form regret. Looks like we got 4 targets here. Alright. 1 down. There we go. So even walking into it with out waiting long enough for all of our equipment to repair, we were still able to take down 4 Veyroon ships. A fact that I will mostly attribute to the fact that turrets can be very good. Alright, now the correct choice is of course to go ahead and wait for our engines and shields at a bare minimum to fully repair. So what am I going to do? Let's go check out this other hostile activity. And 3 targets this time. Alright, 1 down. And we can see that rather than helping me kill the target I was trying to kill, my turrets decided to shoot the other guy. That is the one downside of turrets, is unless you go ahead and activate the targeting system, which requires you to be within 2,000 meters of your target, they can and will split fire. And the fastest way to prevent damage is to eliminate your opponents, which means going ahead and concentrating fire. So, upsides and downsides either way. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and just see if there's something on Serpentis 3, and if not, we'll just get some pictures. Alrighty. Another nice and easy victory. So, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.